Local 4 News starts now with a forewarned weather alert.
Metro Detroit hit hard by flooding. This is a live look at Canton Township, where swamped roads are making it difficult for people trying to get home to their neighborhoods, some of which have been closed off.
Sky 4 giving us a live look at one of the big trouble spots, I-275 and I-94. Some folks still waiting for the water to go down just so they can get in to try to reclaim their vehicles.
It has certainly been a chaotic day, too, at Metro Airport, as flooding prevented people from getting to their flights on time, some having to walk from the freeway to reach their terminal. While many Metro Detroiters deal with flooding from this morning's heavy rainfall, around 29,000 DTE customers are without power and temperatures nearing today's record high.
Start things at 6 with Kim Adams here. More on the heat and the potential for severe storms, and those things are connected, of course, here, Kim.
Absolutely, and the fact that we're getting some sunshine now, those temperatures are still climbing up until the sun sets tonight, so that's not helping. The dew points are going up, and all of it's coming together to increase our risk for severe weather. Right now, there's nothing to track on Exact Track 4D radar, but unlike a line of storms that will come through, these are going to start out as multicellular or supercells that develop very, very quickly. Once they do, we'll start tracking them for you, but until then, there's just kind of a wait and see situation. Nothing for at least the next hour, maybe even the next couple of hours. I went back last night, for those of you curious. We had a lot of calls from people saying, I've never seen so much lightning. It woke them up last night. Obviously, lightning causes the thunder, so you heard that as well. At 3:22 a.m., we had over 1,192 strikes in a 5-minute period, and there's some unconfirmed totals that we had over 17,000 lightning strikes last night, but unconfirmed, so this is confirmed. But certainly we had a lot of lightning, no matter how you look at it, and we also had a lot of rain. So some of the rain totals were as high as 6 to 7 inches, and we expect more rain tonight. So unfortunately, that is going to cause some flooding. As we've seen, it only takes less than a foot of water to completely sweep away a vehicle. So we are under an enhanced risk. That's a level 3 for severe weather. We'll talk more about the timing of these storms and when this humidity and heat will come to an end.
All right, Kim, now it has been a day of confusion and frustration for people trying to fly out of Metro Airport. In a minute, Hank Winchester will have an update on the travel mess caused by the flooding.
Let's start, though, in Canton Township with Victor Williams. Victor, some people there woke up this morning, found themselves unable to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's right, Devin and Kimberly. You can even still see some of the water that these people have to travel through, just still sitting right here on Sheldon Road. But a lot of people, unfortunately, without even having to leave their house, found themselves in floodwaters in their basement.
It feels horrible. It's bad. Overnight, unexpectedly, the storm just started to be very bad.
A night full of rain and thunderstorms leads to a morning full of headaches as many face flooding issues inside of their homes.
When I woke up this morning, all the street flooded. My basement in a house is flooded. Everything is kind of bad.
Marianne Vaskovich didn't expect any of it at all. Now she's worried if insurance will cover the damage.
I worried that they may not gonna honor or cover anything. It's just I have lots of damage in my house. Now, adjuster's supposed to come and take a look. I don't know how he's gonna manage to come through this.
The pressure is built up so bad in her neighbor's backyard that the water has created a breach in the fence. Denise Simon, on the other hand, had to actually walk on foot to help her mother, whose home flooded, also being at the bottom floor of a senior high-rise.
There are some hard surfaces that are wet, and I have to get her out, and I don't know how I'm going to get her out.
In other places, driveways and cul-de-sacs are so full of water, some kids are using them as swimming pools. Tim Moncrief is just worried about getting his mother to dialysis when the time comes.
My parents have had this house in this sub since the 1980s. This is by far the worst it's ever been.
Another cause of concern seems to be the fact that this could only be round one of what's to come.
With the upcoming storm that we have coming in, probably 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight, it's only going to get worse. I expect more of the front yards and a lot of people's backyards to be flooded even more.
And we certainly hope not, but as you guys can also see right here behind me, we do have tow trucks getting ready to hopefully make a recovery, getting some of these abandoned vehicles off of the streets. But just like we said, we're not out of the clear just yet because we know there is another round of storms on the way. So we are hoping that it's not too bad going forward. In Canton Township tonight, Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor, we sure hope so. Yeah. Flooding this morning made getting to Metro Airport and through Metro Airport pretty much impossible for a lot of travelers who were trying to catch flights or just get off them.
That's right. Hank Winchester has been tracking a chaotic day at DTW. Hank, things are moving again. But look, those crowds have swelled to levels we usually only see around the holidays. It might even be worse than the holidays, Hank.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a few hours ago. I'm going to tell you, Kimberly, in the last hour, though, things have gotten 100% better here inside the McNamara terminal. I mean, you can still see some long lines, right? I mean, these are people checking bags, hopping a Delta flight. But about an hour ago, during our 5 o'clock live shot, you could hardly move here through the terminal. Things are moving traffic-wise outside, and flights are taking off here inside.
Stay at a steady speed. That's all that matters.
Water everywhere. Planes grounded, passengers walking, and passengers frustrated. Early this morning, we met Mickey. His flight to San Francisco canceled.
There's just not enough flights to get us all out there.
But Mickey and others remaining calm and optimistic.
I don't think getting frustrated is going to make me get there any faster, and it'll be nice when we get there.
You guys have got to move off the end of the elevator. People are going to get crushed if you do not move.
But not everyone keeping their cool, and you can understand why. The heavy rain overnight flooding roads into Detroit Metro. As a result, crews, passengers, well, they couldn't get to their planes. Flooding's still a problem here late this afternoon. Now, this is Vining Road. It's one of the main roads onto the airport property from the south side of DTW. And as you can see, there's no way a car is getting down here right now. The McNamara terminal packed this afternoon. Inside, though, we find a calm voice trying to direct the chaos.
The biggest problem was off of Eureka Road, and we were struggling to get our employees to work. Now we're just opening the floodgates for all the passengers to come through and try and get everybody on these flights that have been delayed and canceled all morning long.
The problems today could not only impact flights tonight, but also tomorrow. So be prepared. Back out here live, giving you another look at the McNamara terminal. Now I want to take you outside because here's the good news that we've been waiting for all day. Traffic is now moving normally. This was the problem before. All these roads making their way to McNamara were closed. People then stopping at the Evans terminal, hopping shuttle buses, or even walking in some cases trying to catch their flight. Again, a few cancellations this evening, so if you do have plans to travel tonight, take the time, hop online, check the status of your flight. We're live here at Metro. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank. Back to you.
What a day. All right, Hank.
All right. Well, new details emerging today in the abduction of twins in Livonia.
3 people were arraigned on kidnapping charges today connected with the incident that started at the Quality Inn Sunday night. Sean Lay live with more on the potential motive we're learning about the abduction. It's only gotten more disturbing, Sean.
Let's talk about this because in arraignment, sometimes you will hear a lot of details come forth from the prosecution, or a detective will walk in and lay out the case. It did not happen here. The defendant stood mute, and we're sourcing information outside of court that this all surrounds a fake pregnancy. Take a look.
She resides with both of her parents in Detroit. She's currently actively looking for employment. She is an American citizen. She does have a high school diploma, and she indicated that she is intending on starting school during the winter semester. Most importantly, she had no prior criminal history.
She has a history of faking pregnancies. That's what sources tell me tonight about 23-year-old Chantel Jones of Detroit. And to prove family and friends wrong about pregnancies, prosecutors alleged it was Jones who befriended a young couple from Detroit's west side who just had twin boys. Jones allegedly contacting the twins' mother over Facebook, offering her help. Last weekend, someone tried to break into the twins' parents' home on Detroit's west side. We're told shots were actually fired in self-defense. The parents seeking safety at the Quality Inn in Livonia, not knowing the people trying to break in were the people after their newborn twins. An offer of help was made again, and the twins were actually kidnapped from the Quality Inn, sparking an Amber Alert. We're told Jones was going to pass those twins off as her very own. Jones is now charged. So are 2 teens, 18-year-old Curtis Slay and 19-year-old Davion Chandler. They also made a video appearance at 16th District Court in Livonia today. A 16-year-old is also being held.
Bond in this matter is denied. This matter is extremely serious, according to the allegations. The first 2 counts of the complaint, actually the first 3 counts of the complaint, involved the possibility of life in prison.
Back here live. Now imagine the scene here. You've got twin boys somewhere, and I'm being told by sources that someone said, there's an Amber Alert. Are these the twins from the Amber Alert? The answer apparently was yes, and that's when they were safely handed over to Detroit police. Much more to come. Back to you.
Story. All right, Sean.
An update to a clergy sex abuse case we first told you about back in 2019. Former priest Timothy Crowley, who's now 74 years of age, pleaded guilty this week to 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct. The charges date back 30 years to his time at St. Thomas Rectory in Ann Arbor. His sentencing agreement calls for 5 years probation, the first year of which must be served in jail. He must also receive sex offender treatment and register as a sex offender. Crowley is the 9th person convicted since Michigan's Attorney General launched a special investigation into clergy abuse in 2018.
Former President Trump is about an hour and a half away, we assume, from arriving at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia to surrender and be booked. Once there, he will be arrested, booked, possibly take a mugshot for charges related to the alleged conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Authorities in Fulton County, Georgia are preparing for the arrival of former President Trump, expected to turn himself in Thursday evening. He's accused of being the head of a criminal enterprise that was part of a broad criminal conspiracy to overturn his electoral defeat in Georgia. The other 18 defendants include former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and ex-Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani. The former president faces 91 charges across 4 separate criminal cases. In Atlanta, extra security precautions will be taken when he arrives at the jail.
He will be coming into a secure arrival point. There won't be any other prisoners. There won't be any extemporaneous jail employees.
On the GOP debate stage in Milwaukee Wednesday night, candidates were asked if they'd support Donald Trump even if he's eventually convicted. All but 2 raised their hands. One who did, former Vice President Mike Pence.
Every one of us on the stage signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and frankly, my hand was raised in that spirit, just in keeping my word.
One who did not, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie.
Character matters, the truth matters, and that his conduct is below, well below, what we should expect from a president of the United States.
By the way, we will be covering what happens this evening over on Local 4 Plus. We assume he's going to be turning himself in around 7:30 or so. Our coverage will start shortly before that. District Attorney Fonnie Willis, meanwhile, has requested an October 23rd, 2023 trial date for Mr. Trump, a time frame already receiving a lot of pushback from the former president's defense team.